Bună ziua! Bine ați venit la un curs de limba engleză. Astăzi vom face pronumele relativ, the relatives. Vă rog întâi să vă abonați și după ce apăsați clopoțelul de abonat, să faceți captură de ecran la paginile pe care le vom lucra împreună astăzi, aceste două pagini, da? Se văd bine? Următoarele două pagini și acestea două. Gata, dragi elevi? Vom începe să lucrăm. Unit 6, Relatives. A doctor is a person who treats sick people. Dogs are animals which we can keep as pets. This is a couple whose favorite winter sport is skiing. Relative pronouns who, which, whose, that introduce relative clauses. We use relative clauses to identify the noun in the main clause. Example, the man who owns the shop is French. Who owns the shop is a relative clause. The relative clause identifies which man we are talking about. We use who or that instead of subject pronouns I, you, he, etc. to refer to people. Example, the girls. Instead of the noun, we use she, lives next door, is from India. The girl who lives next door is from India. We use which or that to refer to objects or animals. Example, the horse which won the race is black. We use whose instead of possessive adjectives, my, your, his, etc. with people, objects, and animals in order to show the possession. That's the man whose car was stolen. That's the bag whose strap is broken. So, for people, we use who and that. For things and animals, we use which and that. For possession, we use whose. Exercise number 1. Look at the pictures and the prompts below and ask and answer questions as in the example. Who was Dickens? He was the man who wrote Oliver Twist. Who was Volta? He was the man who invented electric battery. Who was Columbus? He was the man who discovered America. Who was Van Zeppelin? He was the man who built the first airship. Who were the Kellogg's? They were the men who made the first cornflakes. Who was Cleopatra? She was the woman who ruled Egypt. Exercise number 2. Look at the pictures and make sentences as in the example. A dishwasher is a machine which you use to wash dishes. A flamingo is a bird that lives in a warm climate. A lawn mower is a machine that cuts grass. The typewriter is a machine that types letters. The lion is an animal which lives in the jungle. The photocopier is the machine that makes photocopies. We go to the next page, to page 41. Exercise 3. Match column A with column B to make correct sentences. 1 matches to letter D. The girl who lives next door is called Helen. Two, is this puppy which you bought from the pet shop? Number 2 matches with letter A. Number 3, the doctors who work in this hospital are very good. Number 3 matches with the letter F. Number 4, the man whose wife had an accident lives next door. Number 4 matches with letter B. Number 5 matches with letter E. The country which I like most is Austria. Number 6 matches with letter G. The bicycle which I was riding belongs to my brother. Number 7 matches with letter C. Is this woman whose husband is a banker? Is this the woman whose husband is a banker? Relative pronouns as subject and object. We do not omit the relative when it is the subject of the relative clause, that is, when there is not a noun or subject pronoun between the relative pronoun and the verb. I met a girl. She is from Japan. I met a girl who is from Japan. The relative pronoun is the subject. There is not another pronoun or noun between who and the verb is. We can omit the relative pronoun when it is the object of the relative clause. That is, when there is a noun or a subject pronoun between the relative pronoun and the verb. Example, that's the hat. I bought it last week. That's the hat which I bought last week. The relative pronoun is the object. There is the subject pronoun I between which and the verb bought. Exercise number 4. Fill in the correct relative pronoun. Then write S for subject or O for object. Finally state if the relatives can be omitted or not in the box provided. Number 1. The cup that I bought is broken. We can omit. Number 2. How old is the boy who hit you? We cannot omit. Number 3. Have you used the gloves which I bought you yet? We can omit which. Number 4. Laura is talking to the man who repaired her car. Yes. I repeat. Laura is talking to the man who repaired her car. We cannot omit. Number 5. Did you return the books? that you borrowed from the library, we can omit the relative that. Number 6, they live in a big house which is in the countryside. We cannot omit. Number 7, I'm writing a letter to my aunt who lives in Australia. We cannot omit the relative. Is he the man who lives on the farm? We cannot omit. Is that the film that we saw last week? We can omit the relative that. Number 10. Is that the man who stole your bag? We cannot omit. Number 11. Where did you buy the dress that you were wearing yesterday? We can omit the relative that. Number 12. Have you replied to all the letters that you have received? We can omit the relative that. Who apostrophe s is who is or who has. Example, who's there? Instead of who is there, it's Julie. Or who's got the dictionary instead of who has got the dictionary. Whose is possessive. Example, Ginny is the girl whose mother is a lawyer. Exercise 5, fill in whose, who apostrophe s, or whose in a word. Number 1. That is the boy who's going to sell me his bike. Who apostrophe s. Number 2. Her brother, whose name is Jack, is a fireman. Whose in one word. Number 3. She's the girl who's run 4 marathons this year. Who apostrophe s. Number 4. That's the man whose house was on fire yesterday. Whose in a word. Possessive, yes. Number 5. Sheila is the girl whose mother works in the flower shop. Whose in a word because it's possessive. Number 6. She is the woman who's having a party tomorrow. Who apostrophe s. Number 7. He's the man who's just been promoted at work. Who apostrophe s. Number 8. Mike is the man whose wife is in hospital. Whose in a word because it is possessive. Number 9. I am the person whose sister got married last week. Whose in a word because it is possessive. Number 10. Rob is the one who's eaten all the biscuits. Who apostrophe s because it is Rob is the one who has eaten all the biscuits. Turn off the page. We usually avoid using prepositions before relative pronouns. A. The reception to which we went was held at a hotel. Formal English, unusual structure. B. The cafe which we usually go to is near our house. Usual structure. C. The cafe we usually go to is near our house. Everyday English. In relative clauses, we do not use object pronouns after prepositions. Study the example. We spent our holiday with some friends. They are from Belgium. A little coffee is very good for my throat. The friends we spent our holidays with are from Belgium, not the friends we spent our holidays with. Them are for Belgium. It's incorrect to use them. Exercise 6. Rewrite in pairs of sentences. Rewrite the pairs of sentences as in the example. Number 1. Larry went to the cinema with a girl. The girl is his sister. A. The girl who Larry went to the cinema with is his sister. B. The girl Larry went to the cinema with is his sister. Max talked to a man. The man was from Canada. The man who Max talked to was from Canada. The man Larry talked to is from Canada. Number 3. Debbie is looking at a photo album. The photo album is mine. The photo album which Debbie is looking at is mine. The photo album Debbie looked at or is looking at is mine. Anna, number 4. Anna is looking for her ring. The ring belonged to her grandmother. The ring that Anna is looking for belonged to her grandmother. The ring Anna is looking for belonged to her grandmother. Number 4. Bob has gone to a bank. The bank is near the town. The bank where Bob has gone to is near the town. The bank that Bob has gone is near the town. 6. Sharon had dinner with a man. He was her lawyer. The man who Sharon had dinner with is her lawyer. The man Sharon had dinner was her lawyer. Number 7. They invited me to a party. It wasn't very exciting. The party I was invited wasn't very exciting. The party I was invited to wasn't very exciting. Number 8. I was talking to a boy. He lives next door. The boy who I was talking lives next door. The boy who I was talking to lives next door. Relative adverbs. Where, when, why. When is used to refer to time. 1996 was the year when they went on a cruise. Where is used to refer to place. A tennis court is a place where we play tennis. Why is used to give reason. He had a fight with his best friend. That's why he is sad. Number 7. Exercise 7 asks us to fill in the gaps with who, why, where, when, which, or whose. Dear Aunt Joanne, how are you? My new address, which I was supposed to give you a long time ago, is at the top of this page. Sorry. The village where I live now is very quiet and peaceful. In fact, that is the reason why I decided to rent a house here. The people who live next door to me are very friendly. The day when I moved in, they invited me for tea. The woman whose house I've rented lives in the same street as you. Her name is Mrs. Fitzgerald. Do you know her? I must go now. The telephone is ringing. Write to me soon. Love, Rachel. We go on the other page to page 43 and we start this page with exercise 8. Fill in the gaps with who, which, whose, why, or where. Hi Helen, where are you going? I'm going round to Jane's house, the woman whose children I often look after. She has to go to the dentist this morning. That's why she's asked me to go to her house. Is she the woman who works in the post office? Yes. Where does she live? She lives in the big house, which is next to the field. Which field? The one where Mr. McGregor keeps his sheep. Exercise number 9. Fill in the gaps with where, when, why, who, or which. Martin Foster, who is 50, is a gardener. 1964 was the year when he got his first job. He looked after the gardens of a huge house where a very rich family lived. He loves his job, and that's the reason why he doesn't mind getting up very early in the morning to water the plants and flowers. His favorite time of year is spring, when all the flowers begin to open and leaves grow on the trees. The part of the garden he likes most is the kitchen garden, where the vegetables grow, because it has flowers blooming all year round. Martin says flowers and plants make our world beautiful. That's why you must protect the environment around you. It's something that we can't be replaced, or there's something which can't be replaced. In other words, study these examples. The second sentence has a similar meaning to the first sentence. Number 1, this is Sarah. She teaches us ballet. This is Sarah who teaches us ballet. Number 2, that's Simon. His father is a lawyer. Whose? That's Simon whose father is a lawyer. Number 3, that's the hotel. I spent my holidays there. Where? That's the hotel where I spent my holidays. Number 4, this is the story. It won first prize in the competition. This is the story which won the first prize in the competition. This is the story that won the first prize in the competition. Exercise number 10. Complete each sentence with 2 to 5 words, including the word in bold. Number 1. That's the jumper. I knitted it myself. Which? That's the jumper which I knitted myself. Number 2. He's the man. His dog often chases my cat. Whose? He's the man whose hat often chases my cat. Number 3. That's the church. We got married there. Where? That's the church where we got married. Number 4. That's the shop. I bought my new dress there. Where? That's the shop where I have bought my new dress. Number 5. Philip is the man, he lives in a castle. Who? Philip is the man who lives in a castle. Number 6. These are the people. Their daughter is a rock singer. These are the people whose daughter is a rock singer. Number 7. That is the dog. His owner is a famous actor. Whose? That is the dog whose owner is a famous actor. Number 8. Jess is the girl. She speaks 8 languages. Who? Jess is the girl who speaks 8 languages. Number 9. This is the magazine. I bought it yesterday. This is the magazine that I bought yesterday. Number 10. Sam is the boy. He ran away from home. Who? Sam is the boy who ran away from home. Number 11. That's the hospital. I was born there. Where? That's the hospital where I was born. Number 12. That's the ring. Sophie found it yesterday. That's the ring that Sophie found yesterday. Turn off the page to page 44. This is the last one. There are 2 types of relative clauses: identifying relative clauses and non-identifying relative clauses. An identifying relative clause gives necessary information and is essential to the meaning of the main sentence. The clause is not put in commas. Who, which, and that can be omitted when they are the object of the relative clause. Example: people risk their lives. Which people? We don't know. The meaning of the sentence is not clear. People who drive dangerously risk their lives. Which people? Those who drive dangerously. The book was exciting. Which book? We do not know. The meaning of the sentence is not clear. The book which you lent me was exciting. Which book? The one you lent me. A non-identifying relative clause gives extra information and is not essential to the meaning of the main sentence. In non-identifying relative clauses, the relative pronouns cannot be omitted. That cannot replace who or which. The clause is put in commas. Example: Mr. Stevenson is my neighbor. The meaning of the sentence is clear. Mr. Stevenson, who used to work in a bank, is my neighbor. The relative clause gives extra information. My car is a Fiat Uno. The meaning of the sentence is clear. My car, which I bought 5 years ago, is a Fiat Uno. The relative clause gives extra information. Exercise 11. Fill in the relative pronoun. Put commas where necessary. Write I for identifying and I for non-identifying, and if the relative can be omitted or not. Number 1. Mr. Cross, who lives the next door, broke his leg last week. Non-identifying, and who cannot be replaced, cannot be given out. We cannot omit it. Number 2. That's the woman who drives the school bus. Number 3. My sister, who is called Sarah, is younger than I am. Number 4. The cake that was covered in chocolate was delicious. Number 5. I know a boy whose mother is a builder. Number 6. This is the pen that he gave me for my birthday. Number 7. Stuart, who is older than me, loved riding his bicycle. This book, which is very old, belongs to my father. Number 9. Have you seen the cat that has only got 3 legs? Number 10. Fred, who is 30 years old, got married last week. Number 11. The girl who is sitting on the floor is called Emily. Number 12. The car that is very expensive belongs to my Uncle George. Exercise number 12, the last one. Choose the correct answer. An airship is an aircraft which looks like a big balloon. Number 2. The Titanic hit an iceberg. That's why it sank. B. Letter B. Number 3. Guy Fawkes was a man who tried to blow up the English Houses of Parliament in 1605. Letter A. Number 4. The rabbit is an animal that only eats plants and vegetables. Letter C. Number 5. Athens is the city where the first modern Olympic Games took place. Letter C. Number 6. Edison was the man who invented the light bulb. Letter C. Number 7. In 1966 was the year when England won the Football World Cup. Letter A. Number 8. 1492 was the year when Columbus discovered America. Letter C. Number 9. Whales are mammals that can stay underwater for 20 minutes without having to come up for air. Letter B. Vă mulțumesc pentru participare. Dacă v-au fost utile exercițiile, lăsați un like și nu uitați că pe acest canal ne întâlnim la cursuri de limba română și de limba engleză. La revedere!